Hi everyone, this is Jack Wong from EmpowerRangers.com. I guess everybody is excited about this very interesting interview that I have with one of my good friends from Adelaide. Today I'm very proud and pleased to introduce to you my good friend, and his name is Trevi. Everybody say hello to Trevi.
Hi everyone.
Hi. Yes, I met Trevi last year and I found that he's a very nice person. He's very approachable and he has a lot of knowledge that I found, wow, I think it's very important to get this guy on hook and let him share with you what he has. Especially if you are in business, you may want to understand how sometimes businesses might fail. And more importantly, there are solutions to help you as a business owner. Before the business collapsed, there are things that can be done. So I bring to you today with my good friend Trevi, and he is actually from businessrescue.com. So I would like to introduce Trevi. So everybody say hello to him, and Trevi, it's your turn. So Trevi, what do you do actually?
Hi everyone. As Jack has so kindly given you a bit of snapshot of what I do. I'm Trevi. I'm from Adelaide. I'm a business owner. I have currently owned over 15 businesses, and I'm in a very fortunate position that all of them are all multi-million-dollar businesses. And life has never been like this easy for me, as you guys will see it as. Now, I used to have 15 jobs. I used to work 80 to 100 hours a week, and I used to live in a very, very small apartment. And I was day in, day out working very hard. I did have very many friends, and fast forward 10 years later, I managed to get my financial freedom. And now what I love doing is I love turning businesses around, and that is why I have this businessrescue.com. So basically, a little bit about my businesses. What I love doing is to see when business get turned around. I save jobs, I save people's family, and I give them a lifestyle that they could once enjoy again. And that is empowering for me, because when people are successful, they are more likely to help other people. And that's my way of contributing back to the society. So, for a bit of what my business do, we have these 3 different models. We call it do it yourself, done with you, and done for you. So, it's just 3 different models. I'll explain a little bit on how we do later on. But I think for now, I think Jack, that's enough about me.
Yeah.
Maybe Jack can go.
I must say that Trevi is a very successful business owner. From what he just shared with us, you can tell that this guy is full of knowledge, because how many of you actually had 15 businesses? Or I'm struggling to have more than 1 business. So I cannot juggle myself. So Trevi, kudos to you. You are able to handle so many businesses and get the financial freedom, which I think a lot of people in Asia definitely are looking for. So I'll ask you a couple of questions. So this question that comes to my mind is pretty important to my viewers. That is, based on your experience, if I were to ask you, what are the main problems of the business owners that you have come across? Why did they have the business failed? What are the major mistakes that you can think of that these people have made?
Look, there's many various reasons. I found that the most common reasons are basically, number one, people do not have a business plan. When you think about business plan, you might think that it might be like a 10-page or 20-page thesis. It's not that hard. A business plan is basically something that says, look, I'm currently at X, I need to get to Y. I need to know what Y is. So once I know what Y is, I can get to Y easily. See, a lot of business owners, if I ask them, look, what's your aspirations? They say, look, I own a business, I'm happy doing what I'm doing. As long as it pays the bills, I'm happy. See, they have this mentality, well, if they continue to just pay the bills, they're happy, and that's what they get. And they ask themselves, look, why am I still here? And if the economy goes bad or competition comes in, a lot of them suffer. And just because they do not have a clear, defined goals. In business plan, for me, business plan can be very simple. If you say, look, I want to make $1 million by 2014, and this is the steps I'm going to do to get there. So once you define the steps how to get there, you follow to it and make sure you take massive action. If you don't take actions, it's not going to work. It's just as good as a piece of paper on the wall.
That's a fair point. I guess I can share with you my experience business, not mine, but my friend's one, of course. And they're very excited about setting up a business. And they were very proud to tell the whole world that, you know what, I'm a business owner. And very often when I ask them, have you got a plan? This is like what Trevi you just mentioned. They will say, hang on for a minute, can you repeat the question? And I said, well, a business plan. You mean that thick stack of paper telling the world what exactly I'm doing from point A to point Z? I don't have that. So I can understand why business plan is so important. Because if I'm my business, obviously I have that kind of plan. Like you said, it is not a thick one, it's not a thesis. At least it guides me along what directions that I'm heading to. So, okay, I think I'm on the right track. So, any other reasons that you can think of?
Look,
any other problems you've experienced?
The second most common problems I see when businesses fail is the owner or the business owner, the entrepreneur themselves. They are the problem, you know, especially for Asian backgrounds. I'm from Asia, I mean, as you guys can see. The biggest problem we have is we are too proud. We think that we are the boss. We should know everything. I'm sorry, guys. That is a myth. You know, I'm ready to say I don't know everything. And you know, people are so proud that they refuse to ask questions and they make silly mistakes.
Okay.
Mistakes can be easily avoided by just asking, hey, you know, how do you fix this problem? You know, ask someone else. You know, ask someone in the same industry, or even ask a friend or coach. It can be as simple as that. But they don't ask. They wait till the business has gone all the way down, and they say, oh, right, what am I going to do about it? So that's too late. It's always better to ask us questions, ask as many questions as you can, and then you find that you don't make those silly mistakes.
Okay.
Yeah, and also the other major problem I find is continuing from that. People do not have a mastermind. You know, business in anything you do is a team sport. You know, I've yet to find a successful business owner who is in a great big business of more than 500 employees who plays it all by himself. There is no such thing. If you want to be successful, you need to have a mastermind. I call it. I mean, you know, I've got, you know, mastermind with my team players. I've got a few accountants. I've got a few tax lawyers. I've got my HR to brainstorm with. I've got my CEO. I've got you know, I've got my managers which I can brainstorm with, and I've also got my own group of people. You know, which I pay, you know, a X amount of dollars a year to attend together when we brainstorm together to help our businesses. So, you know, we are always in our business. We do not see what's happening around us. Sometimes you just need a friend to come and say, hey, why are you doing something so silly? You know, that's all you need to do. And then they can save you from a lot of money and a lot of different mistakes. So highly recommend.
Okay. So can I just clarify, just now you mentioned this is because of the Asians kind of problem, because of the work pride. Does it occur to you that this is not really a problem to all the Westerners? Is it just an Asian problem?
No, it is. I find that it's more prevalent in Asian community. The Aussies or in Australia, they tend to ask questions where they don't understand, and they're very free to articulate themselves if they've got a question. If they do not understand you, they tend to ask you the question. Whereas Asians, for us, we say, oh, I better not ask the question because I might look dumb. You know, there's a fear, the fear of us looking dumb. I mean, you know, what's worse than looking dumb? I mean, they're doing a stupid mistake. That's dumb.
So shall we blame our Asian education system on that count? I don't know. Because I tell my friends who have this issue that you have to remove the Asian kind of mindset. You really need to think about how the Westerners behave, because to them they will ask lots of questions. They don't feel shy. They will just ask questions and they get the answer. And for Asian, yes, I heard you. I mean, same as the experience I have. A lot of people don't really want to ask questions until the 11th hour, when the fire is coming. It's going to hit them, and they will ask questions, and by which time it will be quite late.
Yes, it is, and you know, and by the time it's really too late, I mean, you tend to lose a lot of things before it starts to turn around. I mean, when you turn around businesses, it doesn't happen overnight, because the reason that your business is in trouble is because of what you've been doing for the past 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 2 years, and it's accumulated. So you can't expect something like that to change overnight. You know? And so don't wait till the last minute.
So there's no question that is stupid.
No.
No. Okay. Thank you for that. If I were to ask you, is there, give me the third major problem. I know there will be a long list that you come up, and we'll talk about it all night long. But if I were just to ask you the third one, what would that be, the third problem?
The third biggest problem is for people when they're in business, they go into a business not knowing how to play the game. Wow. Every business is a game. You know, I get so many people come to me, hey, Trevi, you know, I'm thinking of starting this gym business. What do you think of it? I just ask them the same question back all the time. You know, what do you know about gym business? And they say, well, it's doing really well out there. But I said, no, it doesn't matter what it's doing out there. What do you know about it? I mean, every business makes money if you know how to play the game. It's as simple as that. If you find that you do not know how to play the game and you want to start it because it looks good, go learn it from someone else who knows how to play the game. But if you need to pay them, you know, over the years I've made so many mistakes. I wished I had someone to ask the question, or I wish I knew to ask someone, you know, and it would have saved me so much money. I'll be more than happy to pay them 5 grand, 10 grand, because the mistakes which have cost me is more than that. So if you need to, you know, if you find that you haven't got money to pay someone to ask them, then fine. Go find someone who is the leader out there, ask them out for dinner, lunch, and just pick their brains. You know, sometimes, you know, people are willing to help, just that not enough people are asking. So you come back to problem number 2. People are not asking.
So it seems that problem number 2 is the real problem that we are facing. Not asking questions, go to the direction which we have no head, no tail, don't know what's going on, don't know how to play the game. And when the fires is coming in, by which time we find out we're in very dangerous position, it's too late. I think that is to sum up the whole story.
Yeah.
So does it mean that it's safer to be an employee then?
Look, the problem of being an employee, there's nothing wrong with being an employee. If you love working what you're doing, if you love what you're doing, there's nothing being an employee. However, being an employee, it means you have always got to trade an hour of life for X amount of dollars. Yeah. I mean, X amount of dollars might be, you know, $20, $30, $100, $10,000. Doesn't matter. The minute you stop working, this income stops coming in. Okay. And that's the problem, you know, working as an employee, you have no leverage at all. I mean, the tax laws are against you. You are limited by the amount of hours you have a day. I mean, you and I, all of us, have 24 hours a day. True. How many hours a day can you work? You know, I realized that when I had 15 jobs, I can't work in the 16th job anymore because I haven't got enough hours in my life. And so I thought about, I need to actually leverage myself. You know, I'd rather have, you know, 10 people working for me, you know, 20 people working for me. I mean, I'm lucky now. I've got over 500 people working for me. So, you know, it's leverage, you know. But at the same time, business is not a sport for everyone. You know, some people, they're happy being an employee. There's no stress. They don't have to worry about tax bills. They don't have to worry about when's the next sale going to happen. You know, it's not for everyone. Right. But if you decide to go into business, you know, the rewards are great, but you must be prepared to work hard and also very smart. You work hard, what will happen is you become a self-employed employee, which means you're going to trade an hour of life for X amount of dollars. It defeats the purpose. Okay, thank you for that. So next question I have is, since you talk about your experience in saving a lot of businesses and giving them your experience, so can I ask, like, who are your targeted clients? Suppose I have 2 groups of people. One is I already have a business, but it's dying. I probably think that this can be a potential client. And there's another group of people who are actually stumbling upon whether they should start a business. They have no clue about the pros and cons of being, like you said, employee versus a business owner. So who are you targeting to? Look, for me, I've been through all those steps, you know, from being an employee to an entrepreneur. I have also saved a lot of my own businesses. I mean, out of those 15 businesses, I have to save like 8 or 9 of them in any one, not all together, but, you know, at different times of his business life. You know, for me, I think my target audience and my target people, which I love to help, is anyone who's thinking of starting up a new business as well as people in a small business. You know, small business. My definition of small business: anyone with less than 20 employees. That's a small business. I love helping them because their resources is so limited. And you know, and when I'm able to help them, I know I do not only help them and their family and the workers. I help, you know, I help the future generations, because one day they can leave a legacy behind. Especially us for Asians, we love leaving legacy behind. So you know, I find that's very, very fulfilling for me. And you know, and more importantly, you know, people who are successful, they tend to give back to the community, you know, to the more less fortunate. And, and that's where I came from. So people who are, I say, anyone in small business or looking to start out, or anyone with under 100 employees, and I can assist any of them in their business, because I've brought it from nothing to over a few hundred employees. So which I'm very glad I've got a skill.
So I'm now getting a bit excited about the things that you mentioned at the beginning of this interview. Things like done with you, done for you, stuff like that. Can you elaborate a bit more about what exactly it is?
Okay, thank you, Jack. Well, basically, you know, I've got 3 different models. In DIY, we call it in Australia, do it yourself. Basically, I have a membership site where, you know, people who hasn't got you know, like resources to hire a business consultant to help in their business, they can do it themselves. You know, and that's what my membership site comes in. And I've made the cost of entry so low that anyone can join. And it takes $1 to get started.
You kidding?
Yes, it's $1. So come to businessrescue.com. It's $1 to start. You know,
unbelievable.
It's you know, I made it so low so that everyone has an opportunity to learn to turn their businesses around. So that's how I call it the do-it-yourself model. The done with you model is basically I give coaching one-on-one on with the client. Basically, I look at how the business is running. You know, I basically guide them like a coach. You know, like a coach with who teaches, like you know, Michael Jordan has a coach, Tiger Woods has a coach, everyone has a coach. So basically, I just guide you from the sideline and say, hey, you know, I think that there's problems there. You need to do this. I'll give you advice based on my years of experience. And the for you model basically is where I go in and turn your business around. I mean, that's you know, that I thought I make a limited amount of time, and I personally prefer not to do that. And therefore the charges as well is not going to be easily, you know, readily available to everyone. So you know, I always recommend, you know, for small businesses, you know, if you find you have the tighter resources, go for my do-it-yourself model. Just go to my website below, my name below at businessrescue.com, and that's where you can find out more about it. So
I liked the URL, businessrescue.com, because before this interview, I actually do a search. I type Business Rescue, and guess what you have got? You're on page 1.
Am I? Wow.
Yes, you are on my page 1. So congratulations for getting this very powerful URL.
Thank you, Jack.
And I guess that the question I have is, I know you have a magic wand. You're able to help people to turn the business from upside down back to the normal and eventually become very profitable business. I have confidence in you. I guess, how can people approach you?
Well, if they want to approach me, I mean, I'm always available on Google Plus. You know, I've got YouTube videos as well. You know, for the easiest way to get through to me is to go to my website, businessrescue.com, and then on there you can contact me directly from the website. Send me an email if you need to from my website. You can get through to me. So you know, the best way is to get, you know, $1. I made the cost of entry to my website so cheap, like $1. You know, and the reason I put $1 and not free is because people who actually is willing to pay $1, they are action takers.
Right.
People who you know, who has anything for free, they don't value it at all, because it's so easy come, easy go. So you know, make $1, go to it. You know, take it as you're treating me a cup of coffee. I don't think $1 can buy a cup of coffee anymore nowadays. So you know, come to my website, just see what I have got for you. You know, it's exciting, and also we have this special 7-day challenge. Basically, it's a challenge for all my new members to. It gives them a good understanding of how their business has been running all these years, or you know, if they know anything about business, or how have they been, you know, looking at their business. the way they look at it. And it's through this 7 days challenge, you'll find out a lot about how you have been running a business. So I encourage you to do it.
Will one of the challenges require them to tell you the truth that they do not have business plan?
Well, they will find out for themselves.
Right.
For me, it's a journey for them to find out. I mean,
Okay.
you know, I don't get to see your answers. You know, basically this challenge is for you to find out more about yourself. You know,
Right.
The biggest problem we have is we are so busy in the business working that we haven't got time to stop and say, hey, what am I doing? You know, and you find that you have like the past 15, 20 years of your life gone.
Yeah.
You're doing the same thing again and again and again. All you need to do is take a step back, you know, take 7 days to do the challenge, and then you find out, hey, what have I been doing? Is it working? Is it going to get me to point Y? Or is it going to get me back to point A 20 years ago? So, there you go.
Okay. I guess that's all the questions I have. And if I were to ask you one final question, give my viewers your $1 million comment. Tell our readers $1 million comment. What is that? What is advice to my viewers?
$1 million comment?
Yes.
The $1 million things which I have learned and I'm still learning is to ask questions.
Right.
You find that when you get to be really successful, you think you know everything, and that's where you got to stop that mentality. And it still comes up to me too today. And you know, sometimes I'm afraid to ask for thinking, oh, you know, I'm successful and I'm asking such a silly question. That still comes back to me. Yeah. Like what my mentor says, you know, when you get successful, you just reach a new level of poverty. And that is so true. So I would say continue asking questions. If you don't know something, ask someone who knows. Or just go ask Jack. Jack is a fantastic coach. I mean, I've known him for not a very long time, but man, he gives me words of wisdom, and until today I still listen to you. When Jack speaks, I listen.
Yes, thank you for the kind words. Then I can become your testimony too, because if my viewer asks, well, you're talking about Trevi, does he actually ask questions? I can tell you he asked questions. In fact, he stayed up late last night to ask questions. Of course, I'm not going to tell you what question it is. It might seem to be quite silly question. It's a number question. Give them a hint, the 24, 13, and 54 questions. Of course, our viewers won't have a clue, but he actually asked the question. I can tell you that he stayed up late at night. When I was looking at my watch, it is midnight Singapore time, and guess what? This guy in Adelaide is still not sleeping. He's still waiting for some answer. So I can give you the testimony that Trevi, you are really practicing what you preach.
Thank you, thank you, Jack. Thank you, Jack.
Okay. Thank you. So I guess that's all about I would like to ask. Of course, in future, if my viewers have other questions, I will help them to consolidate. Probably I will have another interview with you and tap your brain to find out what you can say, what you are going to say to help our friends here in their business. Because Singapore is a country where the government actually promotes entrepreneurship. And that is why this culture allows lots of people start thinking that they would not become employees forever. I mean, just give you an example, Trevi. I have a friend whom I met in one course approximately 1 year ago. And by her personality type, I know right from the start that she won't become an employee. So she told me, Jack, you know what? After 3 months being an employee, I now set up my business. That's why I told you that, yes, you know what? I already told you that you become a business owner, so I was right. But then the question that I guess Trevi will ask is, have you got a business plan? I'm waiting for the answer. I will see how she responds. Yeah, probably I will need to refer her to you.
Look, feel free. I'm ready to help. I'm ready to help.
Okay, good. Okay, so I guess that's really about this for the interview, and thank you so much for spending your very precious time to say a few important message to our viewers. So I appreciate your time. So thank you for watching, viewers. I hope you enjoyed this quick chat and I know that you get lots of millions of dollars from Trevi. So in future, if I'm able to get him up again, I will make sure your questions are channeled to him. Okay? So that's all for this interview. This is Jack Wong from EmpowerRangers.com. I'm signing off now. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Jack.
Bye.